Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. If you are new here, what up? Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the new Eclipse Mythics, my kind of first impressions of them, how I think that they'll go in game, if I think they're going to be good or not. Obviously, I am in the creators faction. We do get to test the dragons the first 2 weeks of the season, so I will be having videos on the channel of me flying them. I will stream with them. You can see them in action in real time, and I'll post defended footage if I can get defended footage. It is a little bit harder to get nowadays. Okay. First, we're going to talk about Quasar. Quasar is the fire mythic warrior. He has a lot of black holes on him. I think, personally, he looks super awesome. I saw a comment where someone said he looked like he had Beat headphones on, and he does. He does look like he has some little headphones on, but we're going to get into the spells first. So this first spell that he has is Solar Flare. It is a 2-rage spell. It freezes everything for 1 second, and it deals 12% of the HP as damage. We see freeze spells on a lot of dragons. This one is a 1 second freeze. Warriors do have a lot of HP, so it will do quite a bit of damage, but it's still just a 1 second freeze, so you're only kind of getting 1 second to catch your breath and avoid that damage. I think this is more of a freeze to freeze super shots more than anything else, not really to protect yourself. It's not a freeze that gives you a lot of time to gather your thoughts on a defended run. So like I said, I think that it is a very short freeze just to kind of catch your breath, get a second to get your thoughts together, but it's not going to freeze them for very long. The next spell is Nebula Beam. This is a passive spell, which means that it is not like a clickable active spell. It is just something that happens over time. The passive on this one, it is sustained breath damage. What this means is not taking your finger off of the screen. It does do it does cap at 3 times. I think it's 50% increase, so your total damage you would be outputting if you capped it out would be like 250% breath damage, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is it, that it's 50% per increase. So you start at 100% breath damage, and then you just kind of bump up from there. So you would end at 250% with the 3 cap. I think it's pretty cool. It kind of sucks if you're a person who can't fly with your finger on the screen and tap spells at the same time, because you would have to kind of take your finger off of the screen to tap the spells, so you would lose that buff, and I think ice flax and stuff or getting stunned would also cancel that. So there's a lot of ways that you could cancel that buff on him, but I do think it's a kind of a cool new spell concept to get more breath damage and ramp up your breath damage just for holding your finger down, basically. The next spell that he has is Event Horizon. It's 1 rage. It is a blue spell, so you're going to want to get a blue mage down to use it. It is like a shield. So it's an invincible shield for 3 seconds. You do gain 2 rage for casting it. So it costs 1 rage. You get 2, so you're getting 1 rage back, essentially. And then when the shield pops, it places little marks all over the towers. And then whenever you kill the towers, you gain 10% of the HP back for every marked tower. We've seen this a lot with those healing shields. I forget what they're called. But once it pops, you get healing marks, and the towers that have the healing marks will heal you when you destroy them. So that's cool that you can get rage back from that, and that you can get health back that way too. Then we have the Black Hole spell. It is a 2-rage white spell. You dodge all incoming attacks for 3 seconds, and per second you do 20% of the HP as damage. So that's basically a 60 HP damage spell, because you're doing 20% every 3 seconds. Every second for 3 seconds. So warriors have an immense amount of HP, so that is a lot of damage going out. And you do fly at a slower speed, so if you need to like anchor yourself a little bit and kind of get your bearings back, that would be a good spell to use, because you could kind of slow down take your time, do a lot of damage. It is a 2 rage spell though, so you can't cast it all the time. I think that his spells are kind of rage dependent. You have only one real way to get the rage back, which is through the event horizon, because it gives you 1 rage back and then just your passive rage regeneration. But he does have 2 spells that are 2 rage, and then 1 spell that is 1 rage. So to use his whole spell kit, you'd have to have 5 rage. So that's a little expensive. That's a little expensive, but it's okay. I think he'll do quite well. I don't know how he'll do on like triple defended bases, but I think for undefended bases, single defended bases, maybe even double defended, he'll be okay. I think the black hole spell seems like it's gonna do like nuke an island. I think he's going to be incredible for short islands. Like if you pull up to a short island and use all 5 spells, like I think you're just going to nuke the whole island with him. I don't think that there's anything anyone could do at that point. But if you have a long island, I think he's going to struggle a little bit. I think he's going to struggle a little bit on max bases, like fully built out 8 island bases. I don't think he's going to have the steam to keep going. Just because he's going to struggle with gaining that rage back. But we will see. I haven't flown them yet. This is just my initial thoughts on how I think that it's going to go. So we're going to move on to the Invoker. The Invoker is Icaros. I don't know. I'm going to call him Icaros. He is a wind Invoker. He is the Mythic. I've seen so many people say so many things about this dragon, from that he looks like a flying carpet, that he looks like he got stepped on. To me, I think he looks like a kite. Like I would put a string on him and just fly him around. But let me know what you guys think he looks like. I think it'll be fun to come up with like nicknames for him because he is very interesting looking. His art looks a little bit different from how he looks in the game. He looks a lot flatter, and I saw someone compare the way that he flies to Dreth, who was in the Summer Kai season, and Dreth is like a little sea cow. He's a stingray, and I thought that the comparison was on point. Anyway, first spell is Starry Night. It is a 1 rage blue spell. You take no elemental damage, and you get 20% HP back. So it's like a kind of small shield or like dodge kind of spell. So you just like don't take elemental damage and you get some health back. So it's like a healing dodge. The next spell that he has is Gravity Warp. It is a 2 rage white spell. You dodge all non-beam attacks for 3 seconds. You do 40% damage at the end and refill all of your ammo. So you can spam your 4 ammo shots and then use this spell to dodge and then refill your ammo right away, and boom, boom, boom. Do it again. The only thing with Gravity Warp that concerns me is that it dodges only non-beam attacks. So lightning towers, ice turret, fire turret, super shots, or their beam attacks, storm towers, lightning towers. I don't know if I said lightning towers. Pylons, all of those kind of beam attacks are going to eat you alive, even with Gravity Warp active. I know a lot of bases have pylons now. I know a lot of bases have lightning towers. So lightning resist is probably going to be something you're going to want to use on this guy. But if a base has double pylons, I think you're going to have a hard time getting through those. That's just my opinion. The next spell that he has is Invoke Stardust. If you're not familiar with Invokers, they have 3 regular fireballs, and the 4th is a spell type passive. With Nausea, you have almost like a Death Gaze type spell. With Morak, you have a Death Gaze type spell. With Namaka, she had a freeze. So they add like a little extra spell that's just in their passive breath damage. And then their regular fireballs do kind of double the amount of damage, or like double and a half what a regular Hunter fireball would do. So the shots are a little bit more powerful, and then you get that added spell. So the Invoke Stardust does 16% of the Invoker's HP as damage, and it also locks down the towers. It's like a sand, so they won't shoot until you shoot them, essentially. So unless they are damaged, they are going to stay locked down, so you can just lock down a whole base if you wanted to. I'm not sure how big the AoE on the spell is, so I don't know if it'll be limited to only like 3 towers, or if you will be able to get like a whole island. I would think that it would probably be like a 3-tower limit. I don't see them making it like a 5-tower thing, but we'll see. I obviously don't know yet, but I'm hoping that it is good. The last spell is Galvanic Overload. We've seen it on Redrian. We've seen it on a couple of different dragons over the years. Basically, your first shot, it is 1 rage, I'm sorry. Your first shot does 150% of the HP as damage to a tower, and when you destroy that tower, you get the next part of the spell, which the second cast will give you 2 rage, but at the cost of 6% of your HP. So to get that rage, you have to lose a little bit of HP. Personally, I don't like Galvanic Overload just because the few times that I have flown dragons with this spell, it's been really buggy to where I don't get the rage part of it. I don't like losing health when I have to use the rage part of it. And the galvanic part either doesn't do damage, gets stuck in the dragon's mouth. There's just a lot of things and issues that I've found with Galvanic Overload over the years that just don't give me confidence that this will be a dragon that I would enjoy. The other thing that worries me is we haven't really seen a dragon, especially a mythic, with 2 colored spells in a really long time. Most of the dragons, you know, if you look at Hauazen, all of the spells are white except for his Chrono Shift, which is the blue cloak. If you look at Lockjaw, he has the blue, I think it's the Rage Gain spell. I don't have Lockjaw myself, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But he has that spell, and that's the only colored spell he has. Calivor, the only colored spell he has is 1 red spell, so you don't have to worry about both mages being down. A lot of bases have double red mage islands, and Galvanic Overload, which is one of the main sources of damage for this guy, is a red spell. And not only that, one of his ways to heal and dodge some of the elemental damage is a blue spell. So I'm not 100% sure on how well it's going to do triple defended against islands with multiple mages. You know, red mage, blue mage. It's going to depend on how you fly, and I think some people will be able to do great things with this dragon, but I think it's going to be a little bit more complicated of a dragon to fly. I don't think it's going to be easy by any means. Maybe that opinion will change when I get to fly it myself, but just looking at it on paper, I think it's going to be hard to get that down for the average flyer. I'm sure there are great flyers out there who are going to be able to do amazing things with him, but I'm just not sure that everyone will enjoy him. I think he's going to be like a very specific dragon, and I also think he's going to be quite slow. I don't think that he's going to be able to get through defended bases quickly. He's going to have to sand things down, anchor himself to use that Galvanic Overload. So if you're looking for a fast dragon for Atlas, I don't think that this is the dragon for you. Maybe my opinion will change, like I said, when I fly them myself, and I will definitely do an update if they do. I always put out like my final thoughts on each dragon, a whole video dedicated to just that dragon. So stay tuned for that if that is something that you're interested in. I hope this helped, or at least gave you a little bit more insight into how the spells work. I will be getting the dragons sometime next week, hopefully on Wednesday or Thursday, so I can have some time to play with them and make really good videos for you guys. But stay tuned. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them below. I also have a Discord server now. If you want to join, please let me know. I will add you. We have a lot of bots. We have a lot of roles, and it's a lot of fun. So let me know. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!